my head who does all this, I don't know, mentalism, voodoo, whatever they do to me. And the next thing I know, I go into the washroom to wash my face, considering I'd been sweating at the gym. And thar, something hits me and my whole nose is bleeding. The whole washroom is filled with my blood. Again, I was rushed to Leelavati hospital. And the next thing you know, I've got another fracture on my nose. So you see, so many times and that very night, Salman Khan had thrown a birthday bash for Sonakshi Sinha at his famous farmhouse, and she landed up there wearing this t-shirt which said, I hate everybody. So if you tell me this wasn't planned, I would just say, like, really? 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 You expect me to believe that? Well, fuck off. So you see, these are the ways I've been tortured over the years, for so many years, and I've been just sitting there quietly taking it all. But I need to speak up about it because this is an issue which is universal. It's an issue that's relevant not only to me, but to a lot of other women. If you might have observed, there have been so many suicides in the show business. You know, the first one being of this lady called Kavaljit, right? The lady who was doing the Indian version of Charlie's Angel. She was found hanged in her own apartment. Then there was another death of my very good friend, Nafisa, who was also Miss India. She was my dear friend. We've hung out on so many occasions. And she was like this really intelligent girl and quite logical. And the next thing you know, I read in the paper, she's no more. And her parents are crying in Bangalore because she couldn't take the pressure of living alone in Bombay. You know, because again, there was some man who was bothering her, torturing her, cornering her, saying he's her boyfriend. Well, if you're her boyfriend, you've got no fucking business to put her in a place where she doesn't want to live anymore. Then, of course, there was Viveka Babaji, which was a clear-cut case again, where there was a man in her life who tortured her to death. So, I mean, come on, we all are strong, independent women here. And, you know, males are most welcome to be friends with us. But most definitely, they have no business torturing a girl to the extent where she wants to commit suicide. And of course, we had Jia Khan's case right after. So how many more women will have to be sacrificed on the altar of male ego or a nexus of rivals who refuse to stop torturing them? Come on, guys. This is like a really, really big issue. Dheeraj has joined us from Pune. And we're getting Dushi on camera now. I'm trying to add him here, but I can't for some strange reason. Okay, guys, come on, start throwing your questions at me. I'm sitting right here to answer all your questions. I'm missing Twinkle Babo. She asked some very, very relevant questions. Noor Hassan. All my, regular people who I chat with late at night. Today I decided to do it in daytime so that you can see the clubhouse, you can see my place in Pune, you can see what it feels like to have everything and yet nothing. I mean, literally, they're not letting me get an apartment in Bombay to stay at. I've spoken to around 50 to 100 brokers since July last year. I've explored every locality from Worli to Malad to get a basic 1 BHK where I can operate from, my production house, as well as me as an artist, which they've made me forget long time back that I even face the camera. I also am an actor, because they don't want me to pursue that line. Oh, did I tell you? I was sitting in the chambers in the High Court where some serious cases which they don't want to discuss out in the open are argued and discussed. So I was sitting in the chambers in Bombay High Court, and it was a double bench. There was a lady judge and there was a male judge. And I told them my story. I told them how badly I've been physically tortured, all the I'm only talking about the fractures. I haven't yet gotten to the, to the other diseases and torture that my health has been subjected to. There's something called as mental torture, right? Wherein they trigger you mentally to feel cornered, and then you start doing self-destructive things. For me, it's smoking, and I really want to take this moment to tell you guys, if you don't smoke, you're the luckiest. I've been smoking since college, and I tend to smoke way too much when they keep on cornering me and mentally trying to psych me, you know, this ongoing, consistent, incessant chain of negation, like what you call the time bomb effect in cinema, where you show your character going from one negation to another, to another, to another, until she blows up. The time bomb effect in cinema, that's what they do to me daily. You know, keep on penting me up, keep on harrowing me one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, so that I blow up, and they sit there laughing and enjoying me blow up. So yeah, so I think all this is like really wrong. And again, I'm identifying it, I'm acknowledging it, and I'm declaring it to the universe that this is where it ends. All right, now I'm trying to get a couple of people on camera. Twinkle Babu is watching. Hey Twinkle, I was missing you. We've got Nimi Jaiswal and Rahul Verma with us. And Twinkle is saying, Pooja, who's Sadhguru? You talk about him previously. All right. Well, Twinkle, I don't know much about Sadhguru, but I do know that he's this holy spiritual healer who's got this whole lot of following. And I would imagine he wouldn't have a bone of evil in him, right? So even if they're using a mentalist or someone like him to create the time bomb effect in my life every single day, I would really be shocked that why would they do that to me, you know? Why would they do that to me? I'm harmless. I don't even harm anybody. So why are they so threatened of me? And if such big people who are using such big spiritual healers who've got this massive following are doing this to me, then I would imagine I'm bloody goddamn fabulous for them to do this to me day in and day out, right? Okay, Bhushan Rajput says, how can you live your life with that pressure, and how do you face it every day? Well, Bhushan, it is tough. There's no denying it is tough. But as you saw, as I told you from my whole fracture incident, I'm mentally strong. I'm a strong girl mentally. And I don't, take a negation to my heart. I have a strong shock absorber, But still, I feel that somewhere it just does get to you. Somewhere you need to sort of, just say that you guys gotta end this shit. It's been 15 years. You're using a mentalist, you're using a healer, whatever you're using to do this, who's supposed to be this really positive person. If you're using all of that just to harrow me because you get some kind of sadistic pleasure out of it, then you gotta stop it right here. Right here. This is where it ends. All right. Twinkle says, if you come back to Mumbai, will you start everything from zero, or will you start where you left it? Well, actually, Twinkle, when I come back to Bombay, all these houses that I've been looking at, most of them are unfinished. So I think I'm going to have to start from scratch. Can you imagine? I have a fully done up apartment in Bombay where I can't stay because of other people's insecurities. And I'm hunting a new apartment. I get in there. Most of the ones which I'm getting are unfinished. And then I finish it and I, keep on pepping myself up irrespective of the daily torture that no, Pooja, you're gonna, restart, and this time everything's gonna be good and you're gonna be a happy person. And then, they're gonna try the same stunts again of negating everything I do. So you can just imagine how heartbreaking that can be. And ideally, I wouldn't want to start from zero at all, because I think with these lives, I'm bringing attention to a lot of things that I've done in my career which have been purposely hidden, which are appreciated by people, but have been purposely forced to be forgotten, right? So, no way. Why should I start from zero? I'm not going to start from zero. I've done that a million times over. I want to start from where I left. Exactly pick up the pieces, pick up the strings, exactly from where I left. Okay, Ludo King says, Pooja, you had said Lakshmi Tripathi is also part of all this. Is it true? Well, I don't know, but yes, there have been 2, 3 instances which have been very freaky and paranormal, which I guess if you guys have read my biography would know of. I still remember the day I was supposed to be exiting in my second entry at the big boss's house. You know, it was late at night. Everybody was like, okay, good night. The lights have gone off. You know, the cameras, they are nocturnal. They can even see in the dark. So everybody was going to sleep. It's late at night. And I know tomorrow morning I have to exit with Andrew. And I don't know what it was. I was in the washroom the whole night. Puking and diarrhea. Puking and diarrhea. I mean, it was, by the end of it, I was so weak that I just felt that I should just pass out right here on the floor without an iota of energy in me, you know. It felt like my body had not even 1% of energy left in it. And you know, right then when I thought that I'll faint and just pass out on the floor, I heard Lakshmi's laughter. I heard Lakshmi's laughter in my ears. And the same laughter, once I'd gotten out of Big Boss and I was leaving for the IFAs in Singapore, as I told you. My sister stays in Singapore. She's an NRI. And that year, when I'd gotten out of Big Boss, 2012, the IFAs were being held in Singapore. So I said, okay, let me go to Singapore. It'll be like a trip with 2 reasons. I get to spend some time with my sister, as well as I get to meet the industry people, which I've been purposely kept away from, purposely isolated from, right? So like I told you, I called up the relevant people for the passes who denied it to me. And then my parents started hitting me. Oh, did I tell you this? My parents started hitting me when I said I want to go to Singapore for IFAs. They said, you're not going. I said, I am. And I bought my tickets on Singapore Airlines. I called up my sister. And at that time, my sister was relatively more supportive of me than she is today. I said, you just come. And on the airport, I showed my middle finger to the media. You can go on Google and check. Pooja Misra shows her middle finger while leaving for IFA. Because I was tired. Imagine, before I'm sitting in the car with my suitcase, my parents are hitting me. My parents were hitting me. Because they didn't want me to go to IFA because I would meet the relevant people. Can you imagine? So I sit in the car, I get to the airport, I show my middle finger to the media. It wasn't a middle finger to the media actually. The middle finger was being shown to my family, my parents, as well as the relevant people who didn't give me the passes intentionally. So I land up in Singapore, I attend the first cocktail event, which was at Coup d'etat at Marina Bay Sands with the infinity pool, where I always go and hang out, irrespective of any IFA happening there or not. Whenever I've gone to Singapore on a vacation, visiting my sister, you will always find me at Coup d'etat and Marina Bay Sands next to the infinity pool. That's like my favorite hangout place. So when I read that that's where it is, some of my friends who I'd met in the flight and at the airport said that you have to come, and they sent me the invite. So I went there. I met a lot of people. I met the head of Sinta. I met a couple of people. I think I met Samira Reddy. I met a couple of other people from the industry who I knew. And I said hi to them. It was really quite nice. I enjoyed myself. And I cabbed it back to my sister's condo and everything was okay. So the next day was the green carpet. So the moment I go there, my friends are like, we got to go in, and then they're behaving weird with me. So I just walked off. Anybody else, had it been Sonakshi, had it been any other girl, knowing how ambitious they are, they would have stuck around and, you know, somehow maneuvered their way inside. But you know what? I have never been desperate in my life, and especially not for a bloody goddamn awards for a night. All right. So that was that. And even then, so then I got really disappointed. I went to the bar next door and I probably downed a couple of, you know, B52 shots, because that's what I used to really drink at that time, because I was pissed off. But I had an attitude even back then. Won't take your shit. Won't bow down to corrupt people. Get that? I might be alone, but there is nobody who has more self-respect than me. So I walked out. I went back to my sister's condo, and I don't know what were they doing to me at night from the apartment upstairs again. I was crying. I was howling as though like my dad has expired or something. And my sister said, "Why are you wasting your vacation? Enjoy yourself. Let's go out." This, that. I wouldn't get up from the bed. That again done something to me through black magic, wherein they had made me so, that broken me down so badly mentally that I wouldn't get up from my bed. And that's the time I heard Lakshmi's laughter again. Now let me tell you about Lakshmi. I really like her. I have no grievances against her. She's this fabulous person who, whenever I've met in person, has always been supportive, has always stood up for me, has spoken in a concert, said that the way Pooja was treated in Big Boss was wrong. So in that respect, I have all the love, all the respect, all the affection for her. But what was all this dark, shady, behind the scene manipulation, guys? And it's about time we got all the dark secrets out, acknowledged them, resolved them, and moved on in our life. Because you know what? No matter who you are in life, you cannot control me. And I want to tell this to all the people who are watching. Don't let anybody control you. Whether it's your father, your mother, your siblings, the people you love, maybe your boyfriend. Do not let anybody control you, because you have only one life. And you know what? You're born with the fundamental and democratic right of leading your life the way you wish to. So don't let anybody control you. Okay, guys? I just told you how they tried to control me. Okay, so we've got some more questions coming in. Twinkle Babu says, Bollywood has always been like a mystery. Whatever happens in it, it doesn't go out in public, and people only get to see the glam and the glitter. So after you've talked about many big names in Bollywood, do you think it would be easy for you to work there or even work with your own production house? Hell yeah, Twinkle. Hell yeah. You know, I am a fabulous person. I'm always friendly. I'm always grateful. I always carry the attitude of gratitude. And I've lived my life for others. Others have made crores of me in this decade and a half. And after having sacrificed my health, I just told you about all the fractures and the other things that I was subjected to and am still being subjected to. You gotta accept me for who I am. I'm not gonna change for no one. I have lived my life for others. I've made people into crorpatis. I've launched star careers like Sonakshi Sinha's. After that, you gotta accept me for who I am. I'm not gonna change myself for nobody. If I say Sonakshi Sinha is where she is because of me, I would not be lying. In terms of inspiration, in terms of stealing sponsors, in terms of trading my body, in terms of trading my movies, she's where she is. She's done all those illegal things to me, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk straight up about it. Oh, speaking about the production house, Twinkle, you know, I get this call one day from Rajasthan or Punjab while I was traveling, and they say, why don't you change the name of your production house? Change it to something else, you know, make it something else. So I said, why? I worked so hard. I've invested every penny of all that I have earned into this production house to make a name, to carve a niche, so that people remember me after I'm dead and gone. Why in the fuck should I change the name of my production house just because certain people can't fathom and digest my success? Why in the fuck should I give up on my production house when I've given it my heart, my soul, my everything? So there you go. It's similar to that question, Twinkle, your question. No. I am who I am. You got to accept me for who I am. And if you can't do that, I don't want to know you. Because the people who genuinely know how talented I am or consider me talented enough will accept me for who I am. Actors have eccentricities, right? They all do. I am just being myself after having been forcefully made to sacrifice so many years of my life to make somebody else a star. By now, I am totally comfortable in my skin, and I am gonna be myself. I am what I am. You gotta accept me for what I am. I hope I've answered your question. Dushi, Pooja, why were you kicked around in Mumbai like a dog? Were the brokers instructed to take Were the brokers instructed to take you for a merry-go-round? Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be the hack phone, it could be the stalking, or it could be this spiritual gurus, who've been appointed to make my life miserable, to make sure I don't get anywhere in my life, who just sit there wasting my hard work. 100%. 100%. They were instructed to take me for a ride, to take me on a merry-go-round, to exhaust me physically and mentally. On one side, they were exhausting me physically and mentally by taking me round and round in circles. On the other side, they had my family in their control, in their Washikaran. Washikaran. So on one side, my family was harrowing me, by not cooperating with me. And on the other side, all these brokers who I don't even know from Adam, but I know many of them, they all are, saying one thing and doing another. So can you just understand the double impact on my health? Can you just understand the consequences of all this torture? What is it doing to my health? And for how long am I supposed to shut up and bear it? For sure. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to speak up. I value health. I value your health. So I have all the right in the world to value mine. Even when you sit in an aircraft, when they say that the oxygen mask will drop, first put one on your face, then put one on your child's face or the person sitting next to you. God helps those who help themselves. You have to look out for yourself. Somewhere along the way, I guess I've been too altruistic. I've been too giving. I've been too generous. It's about time I took a stand and spoke up for myself. Okay, Ludo King has asked another question. Now, even I think Lakshmi may be involved in all this nonsense. Even I think Lakshmi may be involved in all this nonsense. Also, your broom video is going viral on YouTube. Do you think it's going viral now on purpose because you're making these lives? Well, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I really can't comment. But I know one thing, that I've really loved and respected Lakshmi because she's always stood up for me. And if she's involved in all this, I would be heartbroken because I have heard her laughter when I've been really down and out and been almost on the verge of fainting. So I don't know what that was. So Lakshmi, in any way, if you've been manipulated to harm me, I think you should just stop this right here, right now, seeing how much of positive energy and positive emotions I have for you. I think you should just end this, okay? So I hope I answered your question, Ludo King. And the second half of the question, yes, I believe that What Is This Behavior video is going live in the US. I've got a lot of people messaging me, sending me screenshots of it going live and trending brooms for Pooja. So whosoever is doing this, well, thank you so much. But if this is being done in guilt for having made me suffer for so long, well, you need to know the suffering is not over. I'm still being tortured. They're not letting me get a house in Bombay. They've by purpose depleted my finances and left me in a lurch so that, first they'll make me run around in circles, looking for homes, contacting brokers, deplete my bank account till the time it's zilch. And then I get back to Pune and the same shit starts again. The dog chasing its tail syndrome, it just keeps on going round and round in circle. And there are no results. There are no breakthroughs. So you got to end this because, I am not your ping pong ball, your yo-yo. You know what's a yo-yo? We played with it when we were kids. So, whenever you want, you can dip it down. Whenever you want, you can make it bounce back up. So, I'm not your yo-yo. So you cannot manipulate me and play with me like this, that whenever you want, you dip it down, and then the next thing you know, this Peel guy from Hollywood is copying my poster. Or did you guys see that? This movie called Us, the poster, it was just a replica of my forthcoming film, which is being made under my own banner, Pooja Misra Productions. It was a Xerox of my first look and my poster. This movie called Us, being made by this Academy winner, Mr. Peel. So one moment you do that, and then the next thing I know, I'm going viral in the US. Guys, please, enough of this game playing. You guys have got all these dharmic gurus, and I don't know what are you guys doing, but it's not right, because you're depleting my health, and I'm gonna make a big noise about it, because this is where it ends. You gotta end this shit. Enough of the dog chasing its tail syndrome. Enough of no breakthroughs. Enough of the same parasitical cycle continuing. The same hoodwinking. The same yo-yo. You dip it down, you dip it up. No. Enough. All right. I hope I answered your complete question, Ludo King. Dushi says, yes, Lakshmi is very manipulative. Ludo King says, Pooja, did you go back to Pune or are you in Mumbai? Well, I'm in Pune here for the weekend, you know, because I had some work. And yes, I was feeling really unwell in Bombay. And after what the broker did to me the second time on Friday, called me to an apartment, confirmed that if I liked it, I could check in. And when I did confirm it, and then he says, oh, you can't check in. So then I just said, this is it. I know they're doing this to me purposely, and I know that they're just wasting my money by making me run around in circles. I'm going to take a break. I've not been well. I've been like literally visiting the hospital with so many serious tests. I owe it to myself to take a break. So I just came to Pune for the weekend. Rajat Jain from Jaipur is watching. Hey Rajat, how you doing? He's a fabulous dietitian who I met there. So Twinkle is asking me another question. Twinkle, after your father expired, Shatrughan Sinha should have supported you like his daughter in the industry, so everything would have been easier for you. So did you try to talk to him? Well, no, actually. I remember messaging him once when my dad was on his deathbed. And, you know, I did try messaging him once saying that, you know, if your daughter and your wife are involved in this, or if any of their cronies like Mr. V.N. Dhoot or Narang are involved, you know, please end this. I did request him once when my dad was on his deathbed, and that was the last time I'd messaged him. And I think in a fit of fury after my dad passed away, I think I've deleted everybody's number from my phone, you know, because I've been just too up with my head with this daily torture. Okay, Dushi says, Pooja, your health was also damaged by putting black magic potion in your sugar of the tea you drink. How else was your health destroyed? Well, yeah, definitely. They do, you know, give these things. Like they'll give you some sugar slyly on the sly, and you have it. And the next thing you know, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You know, it's called Vashikaran or something. They just take you in their Vash. Control. Vash means control for all the people who don't know Hindi. So, yeah, they did mix that sugar in my tea when they wanted me to bitch about Salman, when, you know, Sudarshan channel had called me to Delhi, and I did talk about it. This was last November, I remember clearly. So, thanks, Dushi. Thanks for bringing it up. Ludo King, Pooja, if you are in Pune, are you coming back to Mumbai again? Also, do you plan to do a live with your family? Does your mother let you make these lives, or does she stop you? Well, she definitely stops me. I still remember I was on this really important call with Dushi. We were talking about you know, the characterization of the screenplay of Jar. And there was a time when I was so engrossed in it, when my mom came charging down the staircase and she just took off on me. So definitely, she's totally averse to me talking about all the torture that I'm being subjected to. She's totally averse about me acknowledging, identifying, and declaring to the universe that I can't take any more of this. So that's why I'm in the clubhouse doing this live by the pool. So yeah, that's why I'm sorry, Ludo King, but I cannot do any more lives. I cannot do any lives with my family inside my own house. Varsha Balaji says, hello ma'am. Hey there. Nikhil Punamia is watching. Hi Nikhil. Varsha says, I want to be in your live video. You are my favorite. Okay Varsha, why don't you drop me a request? I'll try to get you on camera. Twinkle has asked me another question. I almost look forward to Twinkle's questions because they're so relevant, and they really are, questions which bring out a lot of stuff that has been buried underground. Okay, so her question is, does Salman Khan know about Sohail Khan involved in the wrongdoings of raping you and using your father for his benefits? If yes, then do you think Salman Khan will do justice with you? Because it's about his brother. Well, that is something we're going to have to wait and watch because, at the end of the day, I'm just an outsider. Eventually, he spent his childhood, grown up, gone on vacations, in fact, even worked on his movie projects. Like I believe Bharat is being done with Sohail Khan, right? And even his Dabang tours. So I don't know. I really don't know. And that's where we need to analyze Salman about how just he is, because even if his brother is involved in all of this and Salman has to take a decision, and I think he should do the right thing. And even if his brother's been doing all these nasty things, after seeing our lives, if he realizes his mistake and wants to apologize or do something that nullifies all the wrong he's done in the past, I think that would be a better way out of this mess and chaos, than denial. Denial never works, So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Bhushan Rajput, he says, nice to hear you're in Pune. How's Pune weather? Too hot? Well, it's okay. Pune is all right. Actually, it's quite pleasant in the evening. I wanted to come earlier in the afternoon, but it was too sunny. I was like sweating, and anyway, I've been unwell, so I didn't want to come and sit in the sun and talk to you guys. Right now, it's pleasant. The sun is just going down. It's evening. It's nice. Varsha, Pooja, I like you from Big Boss days. Don't take tension. Please don't stress yourself so much. Thanks, Varsha. That's so sweet. Mwah. Thanks for being concerned about my health. Ludo King asked me another question. Pooja, is there a fear that your family may send you to asylum claiming you are unstable and because of the Vashikaran done by the miscreants? Also, has your family spoken to you? About putting you in such institutes, or have you heard them talking about it behind your back? Well, Ludo King, let me tell you, the cheapest way of squirming out of a decade and a half of sin is to try to prove the victim is not mentally stable. I am a lawyer, and I have observed cases in the Supreme Court, leave alone High Court, where the perpetrators, the miscreants, have tried to squirm out of the situation without paying compensation or being imprisoned by making the victim out to be mentally unstable. This is the cheapest, the creepiest, and the most predictable, hackneyed, done to death way of squirming out of a crime. Let me tell you, right? So, of course, my family has tried this on me. And let me tell you that in 2016, when I've gone and lodged around 4 to 5 solid cases with solid evidence in High Court, one was against all the hacking of my phone and my email under the IT Act of 2000 in High Court. One was against black magic that I've been subjected to from 2005 under the Anti-Jadoo Tona Act of Maharashtra. The third one was for gang rape, right? So I put all these three cases in the High Court, and I don't know who were the people who were meeting my parents behind my back, but apparently they gave my parents a lawyer, and my parents filed an appeal in the High Court saying that all these cases that Pooja has filed are all untrue and she's not mentally stable. Can you imagine? The miscreants were firing the gun from my family's shoulders. Do you know of a bigger cowardice taking place in this world than this? You're firing the gun from my family's shoulder. You little shits. Come in front of me and walk out of the room alive, you bloody eunuchs. You cowards. So yeah, that's what they did. They fired the gun from my parents' shoulders by making this appeal in the High Court. You know, saying that Pooja Misra is mentally unstable if she's making any cases against XYZ, please don't take her seriously and you know, don't continue with her case and all of that. So I've already faced that right at the onset of my rebellion. Which started with all these High Court cases back in 2016 when my parents, you know, tried to prove in court that I'm crazy. And do you know one thing? I still remember that I have tea in the evening. You know, like in childhood, my mother used to give me milk and Bonvita. Now, all of us have tea in the evening, my mother and me. And when my father was there, even him. And when my sister's around, even she. So in the evening, she used to make this tea and she used to mix some medicine in it. You know, she used to mix some medicine in it. One day I caught her. I said, what the fuck are you doing? What are you mixing in my bloody tea? So she says, oh, it's the medicine the psychiatrist gave because you take too much of stress, you know, to calm you down. You wouldn't have it otherwise. So I secretly mix it in your tea. Can you imagine, guys? My own mother did that to me. She's saying it's the medicine prescribed by the psychiatrist. God knows what it is. God knows how much of Shamshan ki raak it has. God knows it was probably being done so that I don't rebel, I don't speak up. Oh my God. I just left for Mumbai then. I still remember I just took off. I just packed my bags and said, fuck you. How dare you do this to me? I'm your daughter. I'm your blood. You've kept me in your womb for 9 months. Why are you doing this to me? I just took off to Bombay right after. So I hope I've answered your question, Ludo King. All this I've already been subjected to right at the onset. So all that doesn't bother me anymore. I have a psychosymmetry report. I have a psychiatrist medical certificate that I'm totally fine and above average when it comes to IQ as well as EQ, you know. So they can really just take a hike with all this bloody nonsense just to make sure that the culprits get away. Varsha, I sent you a request. I want to join your live video. Okay, let me try get you on. I don't know. Nobody is being added today on screen for some strange reason. Okay, Ludo King is asking me another question. Pooja, do you suspect Siddharth on Big Boss and Sunny Sara calling you bad or calling you bald and using extensions on national TV? Also a big plan of the Sinhas to create an initial negative perception about you? Oh, hell yeah. It's this guru. It's this guru that they use. You know, so many times they don't even make calls. They don't even pay money to tarnish my reputation. I'll call it back magic because it's destructive. So 100% they had taken Sunny Sara in their wash. They had taken Siddharth in their wash. And if you remember, when Siddharth and Akashdeep had come into Big Boss right in the beginning, they were singing my sermons. Oh, we love you, Pooja. We love you. We love you. Then how did they suddenly turn into these monsters who were raping and